is the 22nd. And then every Monday we are pushing a house style known as Motivational Monday. That's the house style we are driving today. And I want to thank God for all that has been happening on this platform from January till now. And because of what we wanted to share, what I had wanted to share, I needed a depth, an insight into the totality of that subject matter. And I had to invite somebody, okay, who is so much schooled in that very area, so he could be a resource person on that issue of discussion for today. It's all about conscious creation. So conscious creation. Am I a creator? Oh yes. I may not know. I'm a creator. I create things every day without my knowledge. Okay, in my imaginations, in my thought pattern, in my mind. Some of this is from a kind of a stronghold to me. Right. And I might never know how to get over them. Right. So to tell us all these and more, we had a singular honor of having Iyke Chikwendu in the building, in the studio with me this morning. Hey, Iyke, how you doing? Good morning. So nice to have you here.
Good morning, Wealthy Prince. I'm good. I'm so good. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm excited to be here as always.
We appreciate God and you too.
Thank you.
Right.
How are you doing too?
I'm doing excellently. And you?
Awesome.
So how are we creators of these issues around us, consciously or unconsciously? What's the depth of our mindset? Has it got any part to play? Do I continue thinking, okay, some certain areas, some certain issues about my life, and I was thinking I wasn't going to see these things come to reality, but eventually they are happening.
Right.
I kept blaming people here and there.
Right.
Okay, and I wouldn't know the way forward.
Right.
So what comes out?
I'm so pleased you asked that, because that's a very good place to start.
Okay.
You know, from a very, very basic standpoint.
Okay.
There is nothing that we do in this life that was not first existing in the mind.
In the mind.
Nothing. There is nothing you can think of that does not first start its existence in the mind. Okay. Everything is created twice. Everything is created twice. First in the mind, okay, and secondly in the physical world. It first starts in the mind. Whether it's this microphone that I'm speaking into, whether it's this radio station, it's the eyeglasses you're wearing, the clothes we're putting on, the airplanes, the smartphone, everything was first existing in somebody's mind.
Yeah, I got it now.
Before it became a physical reality.
Sure. There
is no reality that escapes this law. Now, it goes beyond that. Somebody can say, okay, these are technology, these are science and all of that. What about our lives? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Before you have an appointment with somebody, you thought about it.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
You planned your actions. You planned your actions. Yeah. You thought about it. You cannot do anything without thinking. But everything starts in the mind. That's why I said everything is created twice. Okay? So the thought is the beginning of the creation cycle. It begins in the thought. Everything starts in the mind. That is the first place to start. So to answer your question, yes, if we can begin to observe ourselves, there's a concept in neuroscience called metacognition. Metacognition is the ability that all of us have that allows us to observe ourselves, our thoughts, to think about what kind of thoughts are we thinking. If you notice that I'm always thinking about something like this, remember, every reality begins with a thought.
Okay.
This is fundamental. So if you've noticed that you're always thinking some kind of thought and you don't want to keep thinking those things again, then you have to start thinking about what you've been thinking about.
No. I don't want to miss you here. If I notice I've been thinking a particular line of thought, yes, I don't want it anymore.
Good.
So you say I should do what now?
You should start to think about what you've been thinking about.
Oh my goodness.
You should start paying attention to what you've been paying attention to with intention. And we all have the ability to do that. It's called metacognition. Okay. So when I start to pay attention to my thoughts and I notice I'm thinking something like this, I'm thinking something like this, and I'm not supposed to be thinking. Because once you understand that every reality begins with a thought, you don't change the reality. This is the problem that we're having. Don't force it to change. It cannot change. Because there is a thought.
People get it wrong.
There's a thought. The thought is the seed.
Okay.
There's a thought. That's the foundation.
Okay.
That's where it all starts.
All right.
And most of us, me included, try to force things to happen in the outside world. It doesn't work. It's just like a growth.
Okay.
If you cut it off, it will grow back.
Again.
If you want to obliterate it, what do? Take it down from the root.
From the root.
So the root is what now? The thought.
The thought. Okay, hold on. Now, somebody has been thinking so negatively about this. Nah, I'm going to passing. No, nah, I the past life or no leak. Nah, so how do I change what I'm seeing? Come on. I never understood that I should stop the thought first of all before I show the result. So information.
That's where it starts. Information. If you don't have a vision of the future, you will always be left with the memories of your past.
Oh. Let's leave this. Let's break down the first one you say.
Okay. Okay.
Now, but it's just if you don't have the information of the
vision,
future, no vision
of the future, which is information.
Okay.
You will always be left with the memories of your past because there's nothing to look onto. There's nothing. You don't have anything to focus on. You don't have a new mindset. You don't have a new thought pattern.
I see.
You only have your memories of the past. Okay, so this kind of thing has been happening to me. I've been having these bad experiences. I've been having these bad experiences. That's the only thing you know. So you're going to wake up every morning thinking same memories of the past. So you're limited to those thoughts.
I see.
So because you're limited to those thoughts, you don't have anything to hold on to.
What about if I start creating the future I want to see now in my memory? So is it going to work that way?
Of course. That's the same way you created your past. By the thoughts.
Cool.
It's the same way. Remember that everything begins in the mind. Let's go back to that part.
Okay, everything begins in the mind. You see me? I'm writing my notes.
Of course, go ahead. This is for everyone.
Oh my goodness.
I'm also recording this conversation for myself too.
Okay, wonderful.
Of course, because listen, it's easier to forget this stuff than to remember it.
Wow.
It's easier to forget it than to remember it. So you have to keep reminding yourself of that. So let's get back to this.
Okay.
Everything begins in the mind. Your smartphone was a thought in somebody's mind.
I understood that.
Good. Somebody saw a need in the world, and they said, "Oh, we're tired of carrying landlines and all these things. Isn't it possible for us to speak to somebody on the other side of the planet without being connected to wires?" Somebody thought about it. How can we be carrying landlines like this? It's too much. You need a very, very long wire. It's very funny, right?
Oh my goodness.
And somebody thought, no, let us look for a different way to do this.
Okay.
And listen now, this is interesting. Okay. They began to foresee a future in the present moment when the future had not physically arrived. So, by planning something that is different, that's what I was trying to explain. In the present moment, they are changing their minds and brains to align with a certain future that they want to create from the present moment. So the more you change your mindset, stop thinking about the past. Okay. Let's go back to the phone example. That's a good one to stay with. Okay. That person said, we want something better than this. This has served us. This is okay. But we want something better. They did not wait for the environment to change. Good. Because that's not the rule. That's not the law. We create the environment. We are creators. Okay? So what he did was to begin to plan something different. Let us get into these studies. Let us research. How can we do this? How can we create a wireless world? They were planning it, creating the images in their minds. It was an image in the mind, pictures in the mind. Now, they translated those thoughts into a two-dimensional device, which is writing it down on a paper. When you start writing things down, it's very powerful. Because your subconscious, of course, your subconscious mind begins to see it as very serious. Sure. All your life you've been writing.
Real on the paper.
Of course.
My goodness me.
Let me talk about that a little bit more, because all your life you've been writing important things down. Phone number, exams, your name. You started writing. So the memory of writing in your life tells your body that this thing is important. That's why writing is powerful. A man said that a faint pen is stronger than the sharpest brain. The reason is not about the pen. It's about the subconscious pattern of writing. Every time you pick a pen to write something down, your body takes you seriously. Because anytime you write something, your body knows that you're writing something important.
My goodness.
Good. So if you start translating those thoughts into writing, you're creating. That's creation. Only that you're not repeating the known. You're not repeating the cycle. Okay. You're creating an unknown. You've moved from the zone of the known to the zone of the unknown. Now, you begin to create images because the brain thinks in images, not in words.
What did you say?
The brain thinks in images and pictures, not in words.
I see. Yeah.
Right? If I tell you...
I catch it now.
Good. If I mention the word apple, do you see A-P-P-L-E? You see an apple in your mind. So it doesn't think in letters and words. So immediately you see words that you've written down, your brain begins to automatically create pictures of the future. If you get emotionally involved in those pictures, of course you will, because whenever we think a thought, the brain makes a chemical. That is emotions. You're getting emotionally involved with what you're putting down. Now your brain is changing. Your brain is no longer to a map to your past. It's now a map to your future.
That's right.
You're embodying the future in the present moment. Now, the next thing that happens is that the more emotional you get, you're developing a belief system. That's what a belief is. Right. Because now you're thinking about it, you're liking it. You're seeing how powerful this is going to be in your life. You're seeing how beneficial this is going to be, how it's going to help people, how it's going to help you, how it's going to change your life. Now you begin to start feeling good about those pictures in the present moment, in the absence of the physical reality. What is that? That is faith. That is belief. So the more you do this, as you begin to embody those thoughts and emotions, the next step, which is the third step, is that you begin to take some actions towards it. You're no longer seeing your past. So the problem people have is that when they wake up every morning, they will remember their problem. And once they remember their problem, they are connected back to your past.
Hold on. In case you're listening to us now, please, this is so important. Okay, I don't want you to call. We will not even pick calls this morning. Just want to lay this foundation, please, and soak yourself into what we are sharing this morning.
Very powerful.
Please say that last phrase again. Say one. Maybe you just woken up now. It's that nagaran up and on now. Nah, school fees. Nah, get money, get it. Come on.
Listen,
as you wake up and do what?
That's exactly the point. Because that is what people are passing through now.
Now.
That's it. Every time you think about your past, your past is connected to an emotion, frustration, pain, struggle, anger. And immediately you start thinking about those stuff. There's no money, my landlord is coming now, all of those things. You start feeling angry. You start feeling pain.
That's right.
It will become real to you. You have limited yourself to a reality. You cannot see a possibility in the future. Exactly. So once you wake up in the morning, don't think about your problems.
I hope you're listening. Dear listener.
Don't think about your problems. Don't. Because it's limiting you. It's limiting us. When we think about our problems, let me say it again. It limits us to the past. We're thinking about the past. That's it. So immediately you wake up in the morning, especially the mornings are very powerful. And, I tell everybody, and I keep telling myself that when I overcome myself in the morning, I've won the day.
Oh, my goodness me. That's right.
The reason is because there's something about mornings that we don't have in the afternoon. In the morning, there's the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind gets widely open. That's the reason why when you wake up in the morning and play a certain song, play the same song in the afternoon, you turn it off immediately. You don't want to hear it. It's still the same you.
Oh my goodness.
What changed? Because the brainwave you have in the morning is different from the brainwave you have in the afternoon. So that's the reason why when you wake up in the morning and start thinking about your problems, you believe them more because you're connected to your subconscious mind in the morning more. You are not analyzing things. That's the reason why in that morning time, I don't know if you went to, all these boarding schools, they'll ask you to read very early in the morning. Why do you think is that? That's when your brain is wide open. It can receive anything you read in the morning. Have you noticed that when you sing a song in the morning, that song tends to stick with you throughout the day?
Oh my goodness.
Why? Because your analytical facilities of the mind has been turned down. That is the door between the subconscious and your subconscious is where all the memories, all the beliefs, perceptions, that's where it's deposited. So that is where you can now impute new beliefs, impute new thoughts. So the morning is a gift. You don't have that in the afternoon because you're very busy doing so many things, so you're disconnected from it.
The morning is a gift.
It's a gift.
This is. I'm at home with this.
Yes. Yeah. So when you wake up in the morning, fresh day with myriads of opportunities. What do? You want to use that gift to go back to your past? No. You just begin to ask yourself, what is the best version of myself that I can be today? How do I want my day to go today? What can make me happy today? What can bring joy into my life today? Now, these are questions that open up the brain. This frontal part of the brain called the frontal lobe. It's the creative center. Once you ask such a question, because questions are the real deal, not answers.
Yeah, I love that.
Without a question, there won't be an answer. If you ask the right questions, answers begin to pop up. Because this is the greatest machine on the planet, in the universe, the mind, the brain. So what is the best version of myself that I can be today? If you ask that question, your brain will now begin to show you, okay, you can be happy today. You can just begin to explore. And I'm talking about between the hours of 5:30. Don't wait until 7.
I see.
Because for some people who work in the bank or who need to leave the house, of course, if you wake up by 6, in fact, your brain is already in the bank.
Oh, yeah.
It's already in the office. You don't have time to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So for someone who is committed to changing their lives and you understand that everything is mind, you understand that, and you want to work on yourself and create a new day and a new life for yourself, don't wait until 6 if you have to leave the house by 6 to do this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wake earlier. I do mine around 4 a.m. Every day. 4 a.m., 4:30, I'm up. Because I know that is the time that I have to gain my day. So if you do that correctly, you begin to have those pictures. Like I said, you take your pen and a paper, write down, I want this, I want this, I want this. Activate your brain to begin to give you those pictures. You're creating a new day.
That's right.
So you can tell yourself, okay, yesterday is gone. This is a new day. What do I want? And then you will start to feel it. Remember that you have opened the portal of your mind to create something new in your life. So you are not analyzing it at this time. There's no analysis.
Okay.
And the analysis I'm talking about, by the way, is those voices in your head. It won't work. It won't work. I did it last time. I didn't work. How am I going to see it to work now? These are negative thoughts that are bringing you down. Somebody brings a business for you. You remember that you were scammed last time.
Oh my goodness.
When somebody gave you the business. And this could be an opportunity for you to make some gain in life. But you're holding on to the memory of the past. And because of that, you refuse to accept this.
Oh my goodness! But I said experience is the best teacher. I was experiencing something scary.
I know where you're going.
Hold on the phone line, please. Don't call for now. Okay? Oh sure. So how do I balance this up?
Very good question.
I love that.
Very, very good question. Now, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. If you keep placing your attention on anywhere, I don't care what it is, whether it's good or bad. That is where your energy is. And your energy determines the kinds of things that shows up in your life.
That's right.
So if you keep thinking about the scam, that's where your energy is. Let it go.
Amen.
Let it go. The scam, but you learn something from it.
Sure.
I have a series that I tell people every time that even if it's a negative thing that happened in your life, we term it negative because we live in the world of right and left, up and down, everything, so we have to see opposites. Okay. But if you think about it properly, there's something you learn from it. Maybe you were not careful. Who cares if you were not careful? Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. If you learn the lesson and store it in your brain consolidates that information and makes sure that it doesn't put you in that position again. Learn the lesson and let it go. If you manage your life very well and the negative things that happened in your life very well, you will not repeat them. They will not happen again. And the way to manage them is not to keep thinking about it. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself because every time you remember those things, you get frustrated.
Yes, of course, now.
You get unhappy. You think about the scam and you say people are wicked. Everybody in the world. But is that true?
Nobody should be trusted. You know that kind of thing.
Good.
Yeah, that's what.
But is that true?
Don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Like I know somebody that said it's so hard for me to trust anybody
because of what happened
to her.
All right. They are thinking in the past. They are limiting themselves from possibilities.
But we want to see some fresh opportunities.
They will not take it. That's the point. They will not take. That's the problem. Oh, don't trust anybody. You know, we know we're not being insensitive. We know that the pain is too much, and I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but that pain and that problem will create a belief system inside of you that nobody should be trusted. That everybody is bad. Is that true?
No, it's not.
Just because you have a thought doesn't mean that thought is true. Just because you have a belief doesn't mean it's true. What you believe becomes your truth.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that it's the truth for someone else. Just because somebody scammed you does not mean everybody is a scam.
Yeah.
So if you don't open yourself up for new opportunities, which you cannot do if you're still holding on to that experience.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you don't open up yourself for new opportunities, that means you're saying that everybody is bad. And that's not true. That means the good person will come along and you miss the opportunity.
You see?
So it's not about that the opportunities are not there. They are there, but you're not seeing it.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
You can be so tied up in your past negative experience that you will never see any good opportunity in your life. And nobody's doing it to you. So until you let go, and this is a very important moment for people, because when you start to tell yourself to let go, and it's difficult to let go, by the way, it's not easy to let go, you know, because the pain sometimes can be very excruciating, you know, because those are emotions, because the pain becomes the experience, right?
Yeah.
Every time you think about the pain, you remember the event. Every time you think about the event, you remember the pain. And guess what? Our bodies do not know the difference between the experience of the event and the emotions that you fabricated from your thought about the event. It doesn't know the difference. So every time you're feeling an emotion about a negative past, your body thinks that it is living that past again in the present moment.
Say it again.
Every time you remember a negative event, your body believes that it is reliving that event again. Because the body is so objective that it does not know the difference between an experience you're having in the environment in the real time and the one that you're just remembering. Woo! The body does not know the difference.
I catch it now.
Yeah, it doesn't know. That's the reason why when you're dreaming, and I talked about it in the book too, when you did my book, Creative Power of Belief, when you're dreaming and maybe a dog is chasing a person in the dream, you see the person panting. In real life. In real life.
Goodness me. Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Is the dog chasing them in real life?
No.
Why are they so reactive in real life? People cry and cry out.
Why can't my body know? It's just
because your body is objective. It doesn't know. The way the body thinks, let me say it this way, the way the body thinks is by feeling. The body does not think like the brain. Are you angry? You're angry about it.
Goodness me. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It feels emotions and it reacts via emotions. That's why people cry in the dream and they cry out physically. Because the body believes that it's happening. Yeah. That's why people feel insecure. There's so many people feel so insecure when they are around activities that remind them of insecurity of the past.
Sure.
And it's an innocent environment that has nothing to do with. But because it resembles something that happened. You know, I remember something happens sometime. You know, we're looking for a house with a friend. This friend of mine does not like dogs.
Okay.
So we went to this place and we wanted to talk to the owner of the house. We like the house and all of that. So the man has been terrorized by a dog in the past.
That's your friend?
That's my friend, yes. Okay. Has been he had a very... So he liked the house, so everything.
Wow.
Liked the house. But when we're living, Just that he didn't pay, but he said he was coming to pay. But when we were leaving, he saw a place in the house that looked like the place where the dog that terrorized him in the past used to stay. Woo! The guy said, Ike, I don't like this house. I said, why? There has to be a dog in this house.
Oh my goodness.
It gets more funny. We went back, asked the man, do you have a dog? The man said, no, that he doesn't like those things. The man, my friend was still not convinced. He said, okay, I just wanted to ask.
Okay.
We left. I thought he was convinced. So I called him.
Woo!
I told him, let's go. And he said, which house? That one that there's a dog.
My goodness. So see, I'm getting something. The imagery and the pictures being a kind of being repeated in his thinking now.
Right.
My goodness me.
Right. In his thinking, his body, he is feeling. Remember, it's not just the thought now, the emotion that reminds him of the event of the past. Pulling the event of the past into the present moment, causing him now to act as if the past is repeating. Everybody experiences this. Everybody. Most times unconsciously though, but everybody. You understand? So, the key then is not just to deal with the thought, it's to deal with the emotions. Because emotions are memories of the past in the body. In fact, this has been proven time and time again in neuroscience. Now, learning new information is what is called making new synaptic connections in the brain. So when you learn something new, something connects in your brain. If you practice that information and feel the emotion about that, those memories consolidate in other words, the emotion helps seal the memory in the brain. That's how you create long-term memories.
I see.
Good. So when you take away the emotion now, listen now, this is key.
Okay, please go ahead.
If you take away the emotion, it's no longer a long-term memory. It goes back to being a memory, meaning that you're not remembering it that much. In essence, that event does not have power over you again because it's now a memory. It's just a memory. And if you stop reviewing it over and over again, if you stop reviewing it, you forget it. You forget it. Even if you remember, it's like, I remember sometime something like this happened to me. You're just like thinking about it like maybe it's groggy, it's not very clear. Why? Because you're not feeling the emotions anymore. So when you let go of the emotion now and begin to embody new emotions, anything you don't feed dies. Anything you feed grows. All right? So if you stop feeding the old memory by feeling the emotions, it will die eventually.
Yeah, listener, you need to understand us here. If you stop feeding your old emotions, your old experiences, all those hurts, all those heartbreak, those calm, those accidents, she cheated me, I cheated her, I was calm, they stole my phone, and you stop feeding these things anymore. You said they're going to die?
They would, of course, replace them with new emotions. Get up every morning and feel grateful.
Oh my goodness.
Look for something. Take a pen and a paper. I'm repeating this because it's very important.
Wake up every morning and feel grateful.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Write down 5 things to be grateful that you're grateful for. You must find it.
Seriously?
Oh my God, you must find it.
Maybe can we do a practical assignment? Can we call the listener this morning? Then they call. Okay. You say, wake up
every morning
and be grateful.
And be grateful.
Take a pen and a paper
and write down 5 things you're grateful for. Because gratitude does something very powerful. It refocuses the lens of your brain to positive things.
This is big this morning.
Right.
It's big this morning. So, the listener, can you do that for us? You're up already. It's already 8 o'clock. Right. You're up already. So write out 5 things you are grateful for. My guest will be coming back subsequently every Monday for 2 weeks so we could instill these things inside us. I'm going to ask you this. What are the 5 things you're grateful for today that you're woken up? Now, is it possible for someone to see anything that is grateful for?
I was going to say that. It's very possible.
Now,
even though it's impossible for a person not to see something to be grateful for, it's impossible. There's always something to be grateful
always
for.
something
But
to be
it's
grateful
possible
for.
that someone might not see something to be grateful for. Now, let me answer it with a little story.
Oh.
A story is told about someone who had been in prison for many, many years. After about 15 years, he served his sentence. He was let go. When he was let go, he has his freedom back.
Okay.
But they noticed that he was behaving like someone who is still in prison.
No.
He's free, but he still had to behave like someone who is in prison. He's not doing it consciously, it's unconscious.
Yeah.
Why? Because he has been in prison for so many years. The prison have now become his new home. So he started learning again how to live the life of freedom.
Oh my goodness.
So it's no longer about freedom. It's about you remembering how to be free. So to answer your question, for a person who have been living a life of ingratitude for the past 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, it is possible, very possible, that your brain, it's possible that your brain does not know how to remember gratefulness again. Yes, you can't see it. It's there, but you won't see it. Because remember, the brain is a lens. It's like a lens. As you're looking at something, if something is not within the purview of your lens, you won't see it. It's there. It's still there. So there is something to always be grateful for.
6993 will catch our attention. Just one or two persons. We don't want to be distracted by your calls or SMS. Just do as the occasion demands. Okay, let this thing soak inside of you. I'm here recording, making my notes. Okay, let it soak inside of you. Wake up every morning, up and grateful.